Hi, welcome if you are new here, and welcome back if you are coming back. We are making some sourdough discard pizza today, and I am getting started on the crust right now. I am adding a cup of sourdough discard to my mixer. I definitely like using my mixer for this one because I do like to knead it for a few minutes, and I just don't really like doing it by hand. So I added my cup of discard, then a cup of flour, one packet or 2¼ teaspoon of yeast. Because this is discard, the yeast is important. If you want to use active starter, you could do that instead, but it would take a lot longer for it to rise. Then I'm going to be adding 1½ teaspoon of honey, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of oil, and a 1/4 cup of warm water. Once everything is all put into the mixer, I'm going to put my bread dough hook or whatever it's called onto my mixer, and I'm going to mix it all together and knead it for a couple minutes so it's all smooth. I would recommend adding a little bit more flour than I do, so I ended up using 1 1/3 cup of flour because it was a little bit sticky when it was time to actually make the pizza, but it still came out really yummy. So adding that water and gonna get it all mixed up. Alright, the dough is ready, so I am going to pull it out, and I don't like dishes, so I just use the same bowl if it's warm enough to let the dough rise. If it is not very warm in my house, I will use a different bowl that I can put in the oven. I will turn on the oven for a few minutes just to get it nice and warm. Then I'll turn it off and add the covered bowl with my dough in it to the oven. That way it is nice and warm and there is a very controlled environment. And my son really likes to play with the dough, so it keeps it a little safe from him too. And then I'm going to let this rise for an hour before I'm going to start making the pizzas. So let's cover this up, and we're going to start shaping the pizzas as soon as this is all risen. Now that the dough is all in the right shape, I'm adding some of my homemade pizza sauce. You can buy this as well, but I had this on hand from last time I made pizzas, so I just added these on top. And I'm going to spread it relatively thin across the pizza. If you make this a little bit too thick, it will get a little soggy, but I find this is kind of a trial and error kind of deal. But if I can mostly see the coverage and it's not like running, I'm usually pretty happy with it. Now it is time to add the cheese. I am adding some shredded mozzarella. If I'm going to make a cheese pizza, I like to add some shredded sharp cheddar on top, but both of these are going to be the meat pizzas that my husband likes. So I'm just going to use the mozzarella and add some toppings. Toppings are very up to you. I'm going to be using some pepperoni, bacon, and homemade cowboy candy. But really, it's completely up to you. Have fun. My husband brought in the cowboy candy from outside and has decided that there was not nearly enough pepperoni, so we are adding some more, and then I'll add the other toppings. All right, one pizza went into a 400-degree oven for about 25 minutes, and the other is going to be going into the freezer. To put it in the freezer, I'm just going to keep the parchment paper on and wrap it in foil. Don't forget to mark and label what it is and when you made it. That way you don't have to guess later. So I'm going to wrap it up and put it in the freezer. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.